Hello, and welcome to the PossAbilities Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie. It's nice to see you. Today, joining me on the show is Debra Studley from Halton. Good afternoon.
Hi, Charlie.
How are you? All right?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good.
Considering all the circumstances and everything else. So, first of all, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming on. It's much appreciated. So for everybody who isn't aware, could you just quickly explain who you are and what your role is within PossAbilities?
Yeah. So, hi everyone. Yeah, my name's Debbie, and I'm one of the house managers down here in Halton. I came to PossAbilities in the very beginning when they came to Halton in 2016. I 2P'd over. I was a support worker, and then I was lucky and fortunate enough to be able to step up as a house manager in the August, and I've been doing the role as a house manager up until March last year, and I stepped up as a team leader. I was lucky and privileged to be able to do the team leader role for 9 months while the coordinator was off on annual leave. And then I stepped back down to a house manager again in February this year, and I've now to continue my role as a house manager. I manage 3 services, and yeah, they're all very different. And I love my job. I just love the job. I love the job we're doing. I'm very passionate about it.
Fantastic stuff. Sounds like you absolutely love working with us. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, you run a sign-along group down in Halton with service users. Again, can you just explain what a sign-along group entails and what you and the service users do during those sessions?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a sign-along group. I started it up. It was about 3 years ago, and I'd done some Makaton training. I'd done it quite a long time ago. And then, because I've never used the signs before, I'd stopped using them, so I wanted to brush up. And then I thought, because I sing as well, I thought I wanted to combine the two, to be able to bring a group together, to be able to sing and sign at the same time. So I started the group. I've got 13 members of the group. They're all absolutely fantastic. They're all their own individual selves, and they all bring something different to the group. And it was just a way of bringing them together to be able to socialise with the peers, and for them to do something that they all enjoyed doing. They all enjoyed acting. They all enjoyed singing and dancing, and bringing in the Makaton signs was just another skill for them to be able to learn. So we meet up. Before lockdown, we met up every Tuesday evening, and I would teach. We would break the song down. I'd break the song down a couple of lines, bit by bit, and then I would teach the signs. And then we would after a couple of weeks, we would then put the song together, and they just melt me heart. I get emotional about it because I'm so passionate and I love every single one of them. And they just pick it up so quick. Honestly, we've learned that many songs. We've learned Christmas carols. We've done all kinds. I'm just dead proud of them. They're just fantastic.
That's lovely. That's amazing. The fact that they're making a lot of progress, and it's fantastic to hear. So you mentioned you sing away from work. Will you sort of elaborate on that a little bit? So tell us a little bit more about that.
So I've been singing for a long time, and I am part of an acoustic act with my friend Junior, and so we go all over. We gig all over. We go to pubs, clubs, Liverpool, Warrington, Chester, Runcorn. Well, there's not really any clubs in Runcorn or Widnes, but we do pubs. Yeah, there is a couple of clubs, but not worth going to. They're not nice. So yeah, and then we just go and we just perform. We do weddings. I've performed at 2 funerals. I've never performed at a bar mitzvah. I've done a christening, but we've never done bar mitzvahs. But hey ho, we are available.
There's still time.
There's still time, Charlie. There's still time. So we've done birth. We do anything really. And I sing. I can sing anything. I can sing any type of song, any range. And so then we then got asked to do the PossAbilities show, which was the Simply the Best show. We took part in that, and then they asked if I could sing at that as well. So we then incorporated the singing with the Makaton group, the sign-along group as well. We did 1,000 Years by Christina Perry. I sang it and everyone performed. Absolutely fantastic. So because of lockdown, we haven't been able to get out and perform with the sign-along group or with myself and Junior performing, as our my side job. But we have been doing a lot for charity as well. Myself and Junior, he writes all his own original songs, and he wrote a song that we performed for on the PossAbilities website, and it was Clap for the Carers. So we've done that. We've also done a lot of charity work for Halton Rocks, which is a charity based down here in Halton, where we raise money for the Heswold Children's Holiday Centre, which is another, it's like a respite holiday break for children with learning disabilities. So we've raised money for that. So yeah, we do a lot of work for charity as well. So yeah,
it's a great thing that you do a lot of work for charity, and that's a fantastic thing to be doing. So the last thing that I sort of want to ask you, and it's quite a nice question to finish on. You say that you've been doing the sign-along groups for about 3 years. You did the PossAbilities show. I remember you on the stage doing that.
Yeah.
The question that I sort of want to end on here is, what sort of impact do you think this sort of group, and your singing along with it and everything else, what sort of impact do you think that has had, not just on the service users, but on you yourself?
It's had a massive impact. I didn't think that it would take off the way it would. I was just looking for something, because I love to sing, and I just wanted to be able to sing along with everybody else, and just get and enjoy. And we were doing it for fun. But then the more we were doing it, we got noticed. So then we had other organisations in Halton asking us to come and perform. Yeah. So we performed for CQC, which was that was very tense, and we were all nervous. But every single one of them, they were fantastic. We've performed at the municipal building, which is just here in Widnes, which is where social services are based for Widnes. And then we performed at the town hall in Runcorn. Again, it was just, we just wanted to lift people's morning, going into a normal Monday morning or normal Friday morning at work. You're like, oh, we just wanted to make people happy. And just by seeing the smiles on every single member of the sign-along group's faces, it just lifted them. It made them cry. It made them laugh. And we were like, don't want you to cry. We don't want to make people sad. That's not what we want. And they were like, no, we're crying because you've just made our day, which then made me feel good as well, made me feel good that I was doing something for not just for me, but for people in Halton. We've performed at Halton Haven, which is a cancer respite place where people go to stay. I've done a lot of charity work for them as well. We've performed there. We performed at one of the residential homes over in Widnes, and it was just to put smiles on people's faces, and again to put Halton on the map, and that was what I wanted to do. I just wanted everyone within, not just within PossAbilities, but everyone within Halton to know what we as a company, what we do. We don't just provide, support, for people in their own homes. We're able to get people out, and socialise and learn new things and meet people and get to know everybody and everyone in the sign along group. Well, we're called PossAbilities Sign and Stars, and I have to thank Amanda Higgs for that, because Amanda Higgs was the one that came up with that name, and we thought it was an amazing name, so that's the name we go by now, is PossAbilities Sign and Stars. And every single one of them, every single one of them in the group, they're famous, because people recognise them, when they're out, when we're going out, or if they're out in the street or they're out doing the shopping, people are recognising them, and it just lifts them, and they can't wait to get back. We're hoping now, at the end of when all the restrictions are lifted completely, come June, that we can get back. I've been able to find a venue that we can go, and we can do the sign along group, and we still keep within the 2 metre distancing. Yes, it is outside, but it's undercover, and it's the local pub at the end of our street where we're based, which is good, because the guys is happy enough for us to use that space, and there's also space inside because of the British weather, because the weather's always, you can't predict the weather, Charlie, especially not here in Halton.
No, we live in the UK.
You wake up one morning, it's cracking the flags, and by lunchtime it's snowing. So we're able to move to that venue and start up the sign along group, because I did try to do it via Zoom, that's the new way now, but we did have a couple in the group that couldn't adapt. They struggled to adapt, because it was all new, and they didn't like it. So we stopped doing it. But I do keep in contact with every single one of the group members, and they tell me that they know all the signs to the songs, and they're still practicing them. So it's me that needs to brush up on the signs, all the signs to the songs, because I've not done it.
So which one's this?
It's like, they'll be teaching me. They'll be teaching me the signs, because I'll have forgot them.
Oh God. Well, it sounds like what you've done for the last few years has had a fantastic effect on everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody's smiling and happy and everything else. And I was going to ask you what your long-term goal was, but the long-term goal, by the sounds of it, is getting back performing in front of people.
It is. And, when I have this conversation, we've had this conversation many a times, when before lockdown, and we all met up, and I was like, what should we do next? What shall we do next? And every single one of them said they wanted to go on Britain's Got Talent. So I was like, yay, that's what we'll do. But then someone else, the little boy, I can't remember his name, and his sister, they've been on, and they did like a sign along group, and then of course everyone was like, oh, we want to do it, we want to do that. So I was like, right, okay, so that's next at the top of their list. They all want to get on the TV and get on Britain's Got Talent. So who am I to say no? So that's the goal. That's our end goal for them all. They want to get on the TV, so that's what we're going to do.
So I suppose a big question here, Debra, is if anybody wants to join in the sign along, the fantastic group that you run down in Halton, what do they need to do?
Give me a shout. Just ask. It's funny enough you should ask that, Charlie, because I've been inundated with emails from different social workers, and asking, is the sign along group open to people who are not supported by PossAbilities? And my answer is yes, they are. Yeah, anyone can come along. If they are supported by somebody, then of course they would need to come along with their support staff. But yeah, not a problem. Anyone can come along and join in. Just give me a shout and I can let everybody know when we're going to be up and running again.
That's absolutely fantastic. Like, the fact that you've just basically said everyone welcome,
Yeah.
The more the merrier. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Absolutely fab.
So what a fantastic note to end the podcast on. So thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me, Charlie.
Yeah, it's
been a privilege.
It's no problem.
It's a privilege because I've been the first person from Halton to be asked to come on this podcast. Yay!
Yeah. And thank you everybody else for listening today. And we'll see you in the next episode here on the PossAbilities Podcast. See you later.
Bye. Everyone.